and welcome to Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And I am Danladi to be Vincent. Good to know you joining this morning. Yes, we have so many things for you. You won't regret joining us today. Okay, so we begin as usual with this motivational talk. And the talk is on integrity by Kolawole Global.
Integrity. Integrity is not common. If you have it, you're uncommon. Integrity will make you accountable. Accountability is something you will value. Integrity is not what you do when people are seeing you, but what you do when people don't see you. You see, you need to be true to God, to yourself, and others. If you do that, it means you have integrity. Integrity means that your yes is your yes. Integrity means that if you say you're going to do a transfer, you do the transfer. Some people will just say, I will do it, but you find out they don't do it. Don't say what you don't mean. Make sure what you say is what you mean. What you mean is what you see. You must have integrity in your words. You must have integrity in your character. You must have integrity in what you say, in what you do. Our world will be better for it when we have integrity, when we're known for integrity. We don't just say one thing and we do another thing. And we must be consistent about integrity. You must have a track record of someone that is known for integrity. You must be honest. You must be sincere. You see, if you have integrity, you're a person of integrity, you value sincerity, you'll be known for honesty. People say that person can be trusted. That person is dependable. Do you have integrity? Do you have integrity? Are you honest? Can people testify? Can people say, I can vouch for him? I know that person will do it. I know that person will tell me the truth. You say that these qualities are great qualities of a leader. These qualities will make you want to listen to you, want to follow you. Everybody, young, old, leader, children, adults, please let us be people of integrity. Let us be known for integrity, and our world is better for it. I keep saying our world is better for it because these things, when we put in place, we're excited, we do it.
That was Kolawole Global with integrity. I'm sure you learned a thing or two. Now it's time for our health tip. Health tip so you can actually live healthy. Yes, we have 10 ways to prevent kidney failure. Let's see. Now you know 10 ways to prevent kidney failure. Now moving on, but before we continue, let's go on this quick break, and when we return, the program continues. Go nowhere.
say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host the most, Omoide with Erese, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo Olaniposi Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
This is Good Morning Abuja coming to you from the YouTube station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And yes, today, usually every June 25th, is celebrated as Seafarers Day. And I have a guest in the house that will be telling us all we need to know about Seafarers Day. He is Dr. Danladi, Capt, and he is a maritime expert. Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, usually when we hear of seafarers, we always like, these people, they have, they are wonderful people because they don't, one, you see height, you see water. People are usually afraid of those two things. But you see, that you getting to be a seafarer, how are you able to decide to actually say, okay, this is what I want to be, this is where I want to actually go into? Did you start from small, or maybe you're growing up, you had a mentor? How did it all begin?
Okay, so this is a question very important.
Oh, really?
You're curious to know.
Yeah,
So
I want to know.
I think my dream of becoming a seafarer started when I was in secondary school.
Okay.
When I first saw river, and then I was very inquisitive about it. I also visited my uncle in Lagos, and then I was opportunity to see ships. And from then, I made up my mind that I want to be a seafarer because I come from Kaduna, where there's totally no ships available.
Yeah.
In Kaduna, you see few canoes moving. So from then, I developed passion for it. And when I was in secondary school, I keep asking. And luckily enough, we had someone from my area that attended Maritime Academy. So he has his brochure. So we use the brochure to study which courses are available. And then from then, I pick up a passion to be a seafarer.
Wow.
But then there are different paths. So on my own path, I choose to be a navigator, a path that will make me to be a captain.
Okay.
So I didn't choose the engineering path because I know engineering is a bit stressful.
Really? Okay, so you now being a seafarer, who is actually a seafarer and what are the main responsibilities of a seafarer?
So the definition is simple. Of seafarer are those who work on the ships. Yes, it's not actually, it doesn't mean that people who are scared of or afraid of sea. No, a seafarer is somebody who goes to ship to work on a daily basis. So it comprises of people that work in tugboats, people that work in tankers, people that work in passenger ships, people that work in offshore support vessels. And we have different categories of seafarers.
You can actually work offshore support.
Yes, offshore support boats. There are small boats that support the production of platform offshore. So then they are also seafarers. We also have small boats like security maritime patrol vessels. They are also seafarers. Even if you look at the naval force, those ones are also seamen also in the naval part of them. So the seamen are also there, those who goes to sea. So the word seafarer simply means those who goes to sea, you know, to ensure that either our oceans are being protected, to ensure that the global trade is moving, to ensure that cargo moves from one destination to the other, which is very important. So in a nutshell, the seafarers are the backbone of the whole global economy.
Wow.
Because without seafarers today, it is impossible for you to import and export cargo because ships don't just move on their own. You need people to operate those ships. So those people who operate those ships are known as seafarers.
Wow, that's like a whole lot with great responsibilities.
Yes, and then it's not limited to one department alone. It comprises of the engineering department, which is headed by the chief engineer, the captain, which heads the deck department. We also have the catering services department. In certain ships, we also have the electrical department. We also have the cargo department, depending on the type of cargo the vessel is carrying. So we have quite a lot. Some ships will have up to 20 crew, some have 30, some have 40. And if you go to passenger ships, you have 1,000 crew. Really? Because they carry over 4,000 passengers.
Wow,
that's a lot of crew to
really. And now I see why actually this day was set aside to actually be celebrated.
This day is a very important
one. Oh wow. Okay, how do you see that continuing though you told us a bit, like now it's time for you to tell us How seafarers contribute to international trade and economic growth?
Okay, that's an important question. But before we go into that, I think it's very important for us to clarify why this day is being celebrated today.
Yeah.
So the International Day of Seafarer is being celebrated every 25th day of June. And the main purpose is to highlight the achievement of seafarers, to the contribution that seafarers make to the global economy, and also in some cases to highlight the challenges that seafarers are passing through, and also to raise awareness about the importance of seafaring career, which is very important. So now, back to your question. The seafarers, they play a very, very crucial and vital role today when it comes to the global economy. That is the first point of duty. You know, without seafarers today, the cars we drive today in Nigeria, you know, the machineries we use for manufacturing will not be possible. Because most of these heavy duty equipment and machinery, they move by ships. Most of the coffee you drink today is being imported from Brazil or from other southern African countries. And without ship it's not possible because the plane also have limitations for how many quantity of cargoes they are going to carry. So seafarers play a vital role by ensuring that these goods are safely transported from their point of origin to the point of destination. They play a very, very important role to ensure that the value chain keeps moving, because there are companies that depend on just-in-time goods. So without seafarers, those goods will not arrive in time. When they are at sea and there is disruption, such as weather, the seafarers has the responsibility and have the experience to avoid bad weather routes to be able to arrive their destination just in time. So they ensure that the value chain is moving. That's very important. They drive the entire global economy. If you look at Nigeria today, 70% of imports and exports are via the ports. So we may say ports are gateway to nation economy. But without seafarers, ports can never be gateway to nation's economy, because they are the engine of the economy. They are the artery or the lifeblood of the economy, which is important. Now, let's also look at when pandemic occurred, like during COVID-19 pandemic. When everyone was locked down, seafarers were all there working.
Yes.
No, the ships cannot stop. They keep moving. Yes, the ships keep moving from one destination to the other. So which is very important. You know, they ensure that all the necessary supplies and the medication, all the aids are being taken to different parts of the world. So without seafarers, the world will be on standstill, because the vaccine that is being produced in the United Kingdom will not get to Nigeria. That's how important our seafarers. So they support when it comes to humanitarian aid, which is very, very important, especially during pandemic. Now, if there is crisis in the Middle East, most of the food items that is being taken to those war zone areas are through ships. So because of the economies of scale of moving those things. So apart from the economy, they play a very, very significant role when it comes to humanitarian services. Another aspect of seafaring that is very important is about search and rescue. Seafarers goes to sea today, and when there is any emergency, whether it is a plane emergency that hits into the water, or whether another vessel sank, or whether a fisherman is missing, seafarers are always the first point of contact to activate this search and rescue, because it's an obligation under the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea. Yes, you have the obligation. It's mandatory for you to render help to people who are in distress at sea. So you see, the job of seafarers goes beyond just moving ships. It goes beyond economic development. It goes beyond humanitarian aid, and it also goes into search and rescue, which is very important.
Very important.
Yes. Another aspect is about maritime security. Now, when we talk about maritime security today, if there is a presence of ships moving from one point to the other, the chances of, illegal fisheries, the chances of piracy or other attacks will reduce. It's just like when you are driving your car. If there are a large number of cars that are flying Abuja-Kaduna Express Road, the chances of insecurity will reduce. But if the road is lonely, then when only one car passes, then the issue of insecurity will be there. So seafarers also play a very, very vital and crucial role when it comes to security. because the presence of seafarers themselves is a security to the coastal communities and to also other vessels. Exactly. Yes. Now we have convention called ISPS code. Okay. You know, so it's International Convention for Port and Ship Facility Security Code. So it talks about how secure our ports and how secure our ships are. And seafarers comply with this ISPS code, and then they also ensure that if they sight any suspicious movement of vessels in the territorial waters, they report it.
Oh, they raise alarm.
Yeah, they raise alarm.
Who do you report to?
Well, they report to the port state, because in all the ships today, they have the ship security alarm system where they can just push a simple button and then it relays all the information. Yes.
Wow.
And then also they can use the radio, the VHF radios.
Okay, I was what if a ship is attacked by pirates without the seafarer being there? How are they able to? Is it the job now of the seafarer to actually know that something is wrong, or right from that ship the alarm goes off and then they come for rescue?
Okay, so when we talk about the maritime security, the ISPS code, so in the ship we have what we call the ship security officer. And every company also have a company security officer. Sure. Okay. While on the ship, one of the most senior officers is appointed as a ship security officer. And part of his role and responsibility is to train the seafarers themselves on how to defend themselves. You know, on how to deal with security situations on board, how to check for access, illegal access, how to improve surveillance. We also have different security equipment on the ship. Ranging from the binoculars we use, the radars also themselves, the EIS, they are all security gadgets that we have today. Because these are merchant ships, they don't bear arms. So what they have is to be able to deter these pirates from boarding the ship. That's the most important one. But the moment the pirates board the ship, what you need to do is to comply with the pirates. First of all, they are going to raise alarm. They have a citadel, a safe zone where everybody will muster there for safety. So you raise alarm, the company security officer is going to be notified, and then they are going to send a mayday message. A mayday is more like when you are SOS, when you are in distress, they send a mayday message across so that people that are nearby will be able to know that this vessel is in danger, is under imminent attack. The security and naval forces that are all over the place can come into their rescue. So when it comes to ship security, it's well planned, it's well coordinated. They have the ship security plan, which details what to do when a piracy occurs. They conduct drills. Drills are very important because drills get you prepared and ready for unforeseen circumstances. So drills are being conducted, inductions are being conducted, officers are made to take courses, both computer-based and also shore-based training on maritime security. So maritime security is crucial. It's one of the 4 pillars of international maritime conventions. We have the SOLAS, we have ISPS, we have STCW95 and NLC. So those are the 4 pillars of seafaring today. Really? The 4 conventions.
Okay, so you really opened my eyes to so many things really in the maritime world. Okay, so but we want to continue on this conversation. We'll go on this quick break and we'll return to continue from where we stop. Yes, we've been talking with Dr. Danladi, and he is a maritime expert, telling us so much about Seafarers Day, which happens every June 25th. Yes, in case you missed out, don't worry, we're coming back after this break. Let's go on this quick break, and when we return, the program continues.
This is Call the Police.
Live on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
The least you and I can do is to assist them by making security our primary concern.
Security is everyone's business. This is why NTA Channel 5 Abuja is collaborating with the FCT Police Command in providing a weekly platform for up-to-date security check in the FCT. Join us for the real information every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station.
This is still Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja, and we've been talking about Seafarers Day before we went on that break. So now we want to continue with my guest, Dr. Danladi. He is own maritime expert. And together we are going to continue on our conversation. So, sir, before we went on the break, you're telling us all that seafarers actually do in the security part of it and their importance to actually international trade and the world at large. Let's put it that way. So now I want to know how important is the shipping industry to global commerce?
Okay, the shipping industry is very, very important to the global commerce, and one of the most important part is about revenue generation.
Yeah, very
because the shipping industry generates revenue.
Really?
When
Okay.
ships comes to ports,
Okay.
Revenue is being generated to the country through custom duties.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Very important.
The freight rate is being paid. There are taxes, there are levies, which is important. And then when we talk about revenue, also there's registration of ships, because every ship flag is certain flag. They have nationality identity.
Really?
So when you register a ship in Nigeria now, you know, it generates revenue to that particular
you register
country.
a ship to land or to stay or
No, in a country, every
Okay.
ship fly a
every
particular flag.
really? Okay.
Yeah, there are ships who are flying Nigerian flag, there are
Yes,
ships who
yes.
are flying Ghanaian flag,
Yeah,
there are United Kingdom flag, there are
Okay.
Marshall Islands flag, there are
Okay.
different countries,
Yeah, you have
but they
to-
are mostly, they are not landlocked countries. They are
Okay.
countries that, you know, that have water around them, so that you can be able to comply with these regulations. So we call those flag states.
Okay.
Flag state is a state where a ship fly is flagged. Then we also have port state. Now, if a ship is flying United Kingdom flag and it visits Nigerian port, now Nigerian ports now are the port states, not the flag state. Yes. So meaning that the Nigerian can also inspect that foreign vessel that comes. If it's not complying with certain international regulations, the vessel can either be detained or it can be banned from visiting Nigerian ports.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are
Ban for
different.
like, is it because before you ban it's already
There are
already
offenses.
Okay.
There are offenses minor from offenses that you'll be able to rectify,
Okay.
and the vessel will sail. Some offense you detain the vessel, and some offense you even ban the vessel from coming to port.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it depends on the degree and intensity of that
Okay.
offense.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we talk about revenue generation now, which is very important. Then another aspect, because you bring in cargo in and out of port, so those cargos will generate revenue. The volume of seaborne trade generate revenue, which is important. So shipping generate revenue through cargo operations, registrations, taxes, and levies. Another most important part is job creation.
Okay.
Yes, you create jobs either directly, indirectly, or induced. Let's look at the direct impact now. When you are taking direct jobs, it has to do with the seafaring we are talking about today, the people that work in ports, the agents in port, the crew members, the people that are responsible for clearing of these vessels. These are job creation, direct job creation. So when we talk about indirect job creation now, because the ship visited Nigerian port, there are containers that have been discharged. Now you need to evacuate those containers to Kaduna. Because of shipping now, a truck driver that will move those containers from Lagos to Kaduna is getting his job. Now you also look at in Kaduna, there's also warehouse. A local warehouse operator is also taking jobs. So you are creating indirect jobs because of this port that exists. Now we also have what we call other indirect jobs also exist, like in bunkering section, because when the ship comes, you need to take fuel is bunker for the ship. So there's jobs for those who are working in the bunkering section. When the ship comes, they need to pick up food stores. There is job for food chandlers. Some of the crew members need to upsign and go back home. They need to be repatriated. There is jobs also for the local bus driver, the logistic guys, and also even for the airline. By buying one ticket, you're also generating jobs and money. Yeah. So the induced impact now, because the port is located in Lagos and ship comes to Lagos, people need to stay in Lagos and work. So it's going to induce a real estate business. They will need to build more real estate over there, which is very important. When they build those real estate, port workers will stay there. So it's creating induced job for the real estate owner, which is very important. It goes across every sector. A local woman selling water is also inducing, is an induced impact to her, which is very important. Then we talk about GDP. It contributes to the GDP of the country, which is very important. we look into humanitarian services, like I mentioned earlier, during humanitarian disaster, shipping industry ensure that the value chain continues. There is this issue of continuity, which is very important. Today, most countries depend largely on fossil fuel for revenue generation, like crude oil. Yes. So most of our revenue in the country today is by crude oil. How do you move this crude oil to final consumer? It's through ships. Without ships, it's not possible. Even the pipeline has limitations. That is why today, if you look at the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, it has triggered a rise of crude oil. There's a rise in crude oil prices. There's a surge. And what does that mean? It simply means that price is going to translate into the final consumer. That is why we are buying petrol at a higher price today. That is why we have high price of commodities and food. And if you look at the shipping industry, it also helps to boost manufacturing sector. Because with that shipping industry, you might manufacture cars, but you can't be able to evacuate them. You might manufacture machinery, you can't be able to take them anywhere. You can produce all the agricultural equipment, you can produce all the crops today, but you can't be able to export them for revenue. So shipping industry is so crucial, like it's the lifeline of the entire global economy. And then we also talk about the health of our oceans today, the security of our oceans today. So I think it's also a very, very important impact that we have been making.
Yeah, you've been talking about the impact, what they've been doing, the good side of everything about the maritime industry. But now I want to know, there are some challenges actually that we face, because there's no story, there's no glory without some story. Okay, so what are those major challenges that seafarers face while at sea?
Okay, that's a good question. So if you look at the theme for 2026 International Seafarers, they say carrying world trade, carrying risks.
Wow.
Right? By the time you are carrying world trade, you are also the seafarer also carrying seafarer risks. So we talk about carrying the global trade today. Without seafarers, it is impossible to move trade. However, there are a lot of challenges. That is why the theme specifically mentioned carrying those risks. So what are the risks that exist? Today, when the Strait of Hormuz was closed, there are a lot of strikes in and out. Seafarers are caught in between. And then the risk is there. They can easily be attacked. If you look at it, so there are a lot of seafarers that were attacked because some vessels were attacked. So there's a risk whenever seafarers goes to war zone, which is very, very important for us to know. There's a huge risk attached to it. When a vessel sails and leaves, let's say Nigeria, and is heading to Europe, they spend days and sometimes weeks. And those seafarers are isolated from their families. Sometimes they cannot hear from their families. And when you are in an isolated environment, the chances of you being depressed or mental health challenges will be there. You are working with different people, different nationalities, different characters. And these people can also impact your mental health. It's not all the time you need good people. Sometimes you need people who will put pains on you. So seafarers are also passing through some mental health challenges. There are also issues that also have to do with harsh weather, because they are working under harsh weather conditions. So which is also a serious issue. When you also look at fatigue, because the vessel moves 24/7, sometimes there are shortage of crew members. Sometimes a seafarer might fall ill, you might need to take extra duties of work. So it simply means now that there are a lot of issues of fatigue also affecting seafarers, even though there are conventions now that are in place to address the issue of the Maritime Labour Convention, the rest hours that have been there, so they are all there, but those challenges are there. Sometimes also there are issues of attack. Seafarers being attacked by pirates and being taken and held for ransom. Wow, really? You look at the issues that have happened before, around the Somalian coast in the Red Sea, where seafarers have been attacked, through all these piracy issues. So it's very, very important and very crucial for us to know the challenges that they are passing through. In some other companies that operate under the flag of convenience, where there are no stringent regulations, some of these seafarers are being abandoned. Sometimes they can't be repatriated home. Some of them are not even being paid their wages when the company is not really operated under strict maritime convention, because we have the flag of convenience where the regulations are not strictly being adhered or being followed. So those are some of the challenges also. There are also issues of abuse, especially if you look at it today. Some of the female seafarers, some, I don't say some, those are the challenges. Some, there are issues of sexual harassment.
Because I believe they are not like isolated kind of. We must have people there. So is it possible to actually?
Well, somebody today, when somebody is harassing you, it doesn't mean that people must see. Maybe when he's trying to talk to the person and you are not giving him that thing, they can decide to harass you in a different way. They can decide to use the work, to frustrate you. So, but we have different organizations today where seafarers can be able to report those harassment issues. They can be able to report those mental health issues. Today we have Mission to Seafarers. We have different seafarers organizations today. You have the Maritime Labour Convention today that have established a clear path where seafarers can be able to report and their grievance will be addressed. Some companies have hotlines where you can call and report issues that are related to your health safety in the vessel. So it's very important when it comes to that.
So how has technology been able to transform the maritime industry?
That is a very important question. Technology has done remarkably well. So in the past, there has been transformation in the maritime industry. From the days where ships are being run by steam ships, to time where ships are being run on fossil fuel fully. Today we are having alternative fuel supply for ships to address the issue of climate change. We are using alternative fuels today such as nitrogen, LNG, which has not been the practice in the past. So technology has helped also to address issues such as climate change by ensuring that ships are designed to deal with efficient engines so that we will be able to emit those greenhouse gases. Now we talk about technology. In the past, they will take site. They use sector to take site to locate position. Now you have global position system where you can easily be able to track your position. When I was still sailing, we plot position on the chart. Today, the position is being plotted automatically. We have electronic chart and display system where you don't have to physically use the paper chart, which is very important. It means that the safety of navigation has improved. In the past, ships spent months, weeks at sea. Today, because of technology, they spend lesser time. The company themselves can be able to monitor what is going on in the ship. The safety of the vessel has improved as a result of technology. Today, technology has made it easier for you to be on the ship and to communicate with your family. Instead of writing letters, physical letters in the past,
there's a time like you have to be on the same boat or something. They have to really communicate on board.
Exactly.
This over and out. I think that would be...
Use the radio to communicate. But today we have internet connectivity. Technology has made it possible. It has made the world to be a global village. Very important capacity development for seafarers. Technology has made it possible for seafarers to be on the ship and also to attend courses to develop themselves. It has made it possible also for companies ashore to track their vessels at sea, to know when the vessel is in danger. When a vessel has an incident today, it can easily be tracked through the GMDSS today. The position. You can track the identity of the vessel, you can track everything. So technology has made everything possible.
So we want to let you go. You tell us what the future outlook for seafaring profession in Nigeria and Dubai. What is their future outlook as a seafarer?
The future for seafarers is bright. So the future for seafarers is bright. However, in Nigeria today, there has been effort that has been made by the government through the Nigeria Seafarer Development Program to send seafarers abroad. But a lot of effort needs to be made, especially by providing sea time for cadets. We have a lot of cadets that have graduated from Maritime Academy in Nigeria, from School of Oceanography, and they don't have this sea time. Because without the sea time, you cannot become a competent officer and actually contribute significantly. Yes, so we need to develop seafarers more. We need to encourage female participation. The number of female participation in seafaring is very, very low. We need to encourage seafarers. Exactly, the common stereotypes today that people say seafaring is meant for men, not for females. And most importantly, today, we need to invest in our seafarers. when it comes to mental health, we need to have a lot of mental health experts that can be able to provide support. Because if you imagine you are at sea and you lost a loved one, you need that mental support, which is very important. But above all, I think strategic investment in seafarers and policies that can be able to address most of their issues are very important. Wow. Thank you very much.
Wow, we've had a wonderful time talking with you. Like, you're telling us so many things about seafarers. In fact, someone that has never heard of the word or seafarer has learned, in fact, extra today. Overdose. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yeah, for all the insights and all on Seafarers. Yes, we've been talking with Dr. Danladi. He is a maritime expert, and together we've been talking about Seafarers Day, which is celebrated every June 26th. And I'm sure if you were listening on our conversation, we had a lot to say, a lot to discuss, the security and all that. In fact, the parting words, we should encourage women. Yes, women, you heard that. Please don't shy away from being a seafarer. Okay, so let's go on this quick break, and when we return with the program Good Morning Abuja campaign.
This is called the police.
Live on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
The least you and I can do is to assist them by making security our primary concern.
Security is everyone's business. This is why NTA Channel 5 Abuja is collaborating with the FCT Police Command in providing a weekly platform for up-to-date security check in the FCT. Join us for the real information every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station.
Yes, we've been talking and talking and talking. Now it's time to actually enter the kitchen. Our item 7 on the program. Yes, it's now time to learn something new. Let's see it.
Hi everyone, so today we're making coconut fried rice. This is one of my signature dishes, one of the most popular dishes on my website. So for this recipe, and quite like most Nigerian fried rice recipes, we will be needing some very rich chicken broth or stock. Normally I would use hard chicken, but I haven't got any, so I will be using soft chicken instead. So here I've got 4 chicken leg quarters, and I will be seasoning this with some onions, bouillon cubes, thyme, curry powder, garlic powder, and some salt. I tend to over season my chicken or my meat if I'm going to be using them immediately, especially if I haven't marinated them beforehand. So I will be topping this up with some water and then cover and leave to cook until soft. So after about 30 to 40 minutes of slow cooking, I will be checking back on the chicken, and this is perfect for me. I've got the rich broth that I need, so I will be sieving this for use later. On to another main ingredient of Nigerian fried rice, liver. I know most people don't like it, and I don't like it as well. I end up picking it out of my food, but I'm not going to ruin a classic recipe. So here I've got some lamb liver, and I'm just going to add that into a pan. I didn't realize that my pan was this hot, but it's okay. So I'm just going to add some water to cover. I won't be adding salt at this time. I'm just going to cover and leave to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So after 10 to 15 minutes, as you can see, the water is all murky, and I'm just going to take this to my sink and rinse off, and then return back to the stove. So now I'm going to cover with some more water and then add some salt. I don't like to season my liver. For some reason, I just don't believe that it's going to penetrate as much, except if I'm using for like a stir fry or something. But if I'm just boiling it, salt is enough. So I'm just going to cover this and then leave to cook until soft. And once it's soft, as you can see, so all I need to do now is just to dice them up and then fry or grill. So that's that for the liver, and now we're on to the chicken. Here I've got some boneless chicken thigh, and this I will be seasoning with some garlic powder, bouillon cubes, paprika powder, black pepper, and some salt. And I will mix this thoroughly and then leave to marinate for about 30 minutes to an hour roughly. So for my mixed vegetables, I will be using some green peas, carrots, sweet corn, and long beans. And I will be seasoning this with some garlic powder, bouillon cubes, salt, and black pepper. So I did get hassled by a couple of people in my fried rice video asking why I use too many spices and seasons, or why I season almost everything. This is how I build flavors. It is optional, but this is a recipe that I swear by. Anyway, I'm just going to mix this thoroughly and then leave to marinate for about 30 minutes. So now we're going to cook the rice. I've got the same pot that I used for the chicken, and this is on medium heat, and I'm just going to add the sieved broth into it and then add my coconut milk. So for my coconut milk, I'm using the canned one, and I've got roughly about 600 ml. That's a can and a half, but if you're making yours from the scratch, you will need about 2 big coconuts. And for seasoning, I will be using some thyme, curry powder, and some onions. I won't be adding salt or chicken seasoning here because I over seasoned my broth. And I'm just going to cover and bring to a boil. And once it starts to boil, I will be adding my thoroughly washed rice. Please make sure your rice is thoroughly washed, otherwise it will stick together. And then combine and cover and leave to cook until soft. So now we're on to the interesting part, which is the stir frying. So I've got a pan on medium heat, and I've just added some vegetable oil to that. And once it heats up, I will be going in with some chopped garlic and ginger. So I'm going to stir this for about 4 to 5 minutes on low to medium heat. I'm hoping to achieve some sort of crispy texture to the ginger especially. And after 4 to 5 minutes, it should look like this. And then I will transfer this into a bowl. So the reason for this is I'm trying to preserve the flavor of the garlic and ginger, and this will be added back into the rice later. So into the same pan, I will be adding my chicken, and I will fry this for about, say, 6 to 7 minutes or until well fried. And at this time, I will be transferring the cooked chicken into a bowl, leaving the oil in the pan. So into the same pan, I will be adding my prawns. I don't need to add any more seasonings to this at all, and that's because the seasoning from the chicken is still very much potent in the oil. So I'm just going to fry this for about 3 to 5 minutes or until cooked. And then I will be transferring that into a bowl again. So the pan is back on medium heat, and I've just added some more oil, and then in goes some chopped onions, which I will be frying for about 2 to 3 minutes or until fragrant. You know, let's just pretend like I haven't just burned the onions. You know, let's just pretend for a minute. So I'm going to go in with my green peppers and chili, and I'm just going to mix this thoroughly and then saute for about 2 to 3 minutes, again still on medium heat. So after 2 to 3 minutes, I will go in with my marinated vegetables. I'm just being careful so I don't add too much, just enough to cook the rice that I've got. And this I will be sauteing for about 2 to 3 minutes again. Now I should note at this point that the softer your vegetables, the earlier the rice is going to go bad. So whatever you do, please make sure that your vegetable still has a bit of crunch to it, especially if you're not going to consume it all in one day. If you're going to be storing it away, the more you warm the rice, the more the vegetables is going to further cook. And then I will start to add my rice and combine. And I'm going to do this gradually so I don't end up with too much rice or too much vegetables, and I can always add some more as I go. And once the rice is thoroughly combined, I will go in with my cooked chicken, liver, spring onions, not forgetting the fried ginger and garlic, and I will also be adding some desiccated coconut. If you don't already cook your coconut rice with desiccated coconut, you should really start. It gives it this beautiful texture as well, and also intensifies the coconut flavor. And this I will mix thoroughly and then cover and leave to simmer for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I will add the cooked prawns and then mix thoroughly again and then leave to simmer for just a minute, and that's it. Your coconut fried rice is ready. Honestly, this recipe is one you do not want to miss out on. It is absolutely amazing. The aroma in my kitchen right now, oh my god.
Oh wow, delicious. That was our coconut fried rice. Have you tried it before? Wow, it looks delicious, so you have to try it in case you have not. Okay, now moving on, it's time for our musicals. We need to take off some of those excess calories. Let's do that.
Mr. Chef on the beat.
Well, musicians, hope you enjoyed it. Now it's time to know what the weather will look like with our weather forecast. Yes, with that weather forecast, we've come to the end of yet another interesting episode of Good Morning Abuja. I'm sure you had a wonderful time like I did. Okay, if you did join us same time, same station. Until I come your way again, I remain Danladi. And bye for now.